Angelo Spadafino, Thomas Pippolo, and Ryan Aquino.
Everybody, welcome to the Locker Room Talk, where this episode we're going to talk about Andrew Luck, the student of the day, Jerry Jones and Zeke situation, Lamar Miller's injury, Aaron Judge's 100th home run, and our good luck of the week, which we're introducing this week, along with our fantasy draft of the week, being the fantasy draft of pet peeves. What's up, everybody?
Yo.
What's up, everybody? Actually, before we talk about Andrew Luck, it was alluded to last episode. It is Aquino's fantasy football bet for Pip.
Oh, yeah. What
Aquino,
this?
let's hear it.
Okay. We were dangling the carrot a little bit, as I mentioned on our Instagram post. In all honesty, we just literally forgot to get to it last episode. So, a buddy of mine works at a custom T-shirt spot, and he could put on a T-shirt whatever we put in writing or even picture-wise. And first off, I want to include that last year's bet was the winner. The person who comes in a higher place in fantasy gets a jersey from the other person. So I clearly won that because I came in first and
I
came
have
in
ordered
last.
a DeAndre Hopkins blue jersey. It's on its way.
I'm
Don't know
very
when it's going to
excited
get here
for it.
because it's
Very
coming from
excited for
China.
it. But we're going to do that again this year. And then on me, either way, win or lose, is the loser has to wear 5 times a year, and the winner picks, when he wears it, a shirt that says, so-and-so has bested me in fantasy football. So either way, if I beat you, you have to wear a shirt that says Aquino is better than me at fantasy football, and vice versa if you win. And I get to pick 5 times that you have to wear that, and one will obviously be the draft every year.
Oh, jeez. So you have to, whoever comes higher in this year's draft.
So if I come in 11th place in this league, if I have a terrible year and come in second to last, and you come in 12th, then I still win that bet, and same vice versa. If you come in 11th and I come in 12th, you come in 4th, I come in 8th, you win. Whoever comes in a better spot.
So it's a jersey and the T-shirt.
A
for
customized
5.
T-shirt that
So
you
what do
get
think about
that
this?
the winner
Should I accept
gets
these
to
terms?
pick 5 times about.
What would you add on to this? I know you're thinking over there.
I'm trying to. I'll have something for you by the end of the episode.
All right,
I'll keep it.
I'll
in my
get
mind.
back to you, Aquino. I got to read over the terms, honestly.
Okay, well, my people will talk to your people.
Sounds good,
Okay,
sounds
we'll
good.
get our lawyers involved.
So probably the biggest news of last week is Andrew Luck's abrupt retiring at 29 years of age, and it stinks for many reasons because Andrew Luck's one of the best players in the NFL. He is the Colts are a team that was going to challenge for maybe a Super Bowl as a dark horse team, and now they are going to have to turn to Jacoby Brissett, who is better than most people think.
Solid. I think
But the last time he played was 2017, and they ended up, I think, the second overall pick. Was it? Oh, it was Sam Darnold that year, but they traded down for Quentin Nelson to the Jets.
Yes, sir. This is a dog shit scenario. My top 3 favorite quarterbacks are Josh Allen, Andrew Luck, and Phillip Rivers. So he's in my top 3 favorite quarterbacks. I love this dude. I was actually going to order.
Josh Allen?
He's my favorite quarterback.
Why?
Just the dude. This is not the point right now. We're talking about Andrew Luck, but it's not the point. But Andrew Luck's the GOAT, and it's just a shame that we just don't get to watch him anymore. This guy, I don't understand how some radio shows and podcasts they talk shit about what Andrew Luck could have been, and I don't understand that. He's been a top 5 fantasy quarterback every single year that he's been fully healthy, and I get that injury plays a factor into how he's going to be viewed for the rest of his life, but he was unbelievable every time he stepped on the field. He was.
Andrew Luck is also probably one of my favorite players, but at the end of the day, if you take a step back and look at his 7-year career, when you are touted as the next big thing, next big quarterback, and the replacement to Peyton Manning, people forget that they let him walk. They let Peyton Manning walk because they said, all right, we got this guy Andrew Luck coming next year. We're going to be awful. And they made it to one AFC championship and got demolished. And now it's not his fault because the GM that was there before, Ballard, was awful at his job and just had Samaritans blocking for him. They had no offensive line. He got injured, and he played through those injuries. He played through a lacerated kidney. Once again, he is an all-time talent, and if he played for a full career, he's a no-doubt Hall of Fame player. But the accolades that as a fan is wanting is a Super Bowl. Isn't it, right? If Eli Manning had never won a Super Bowl for the Giants, would you guys be as infatuated with him as you are?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
and
so-
I understand that that's what's surrounding Andrew Luck, but Andrew Luck if he was given a defense and an offensive line that year that they made it to the AFC Championship and got washed by the Patriots, then this would be a completely different story. We'd already be arguing if he's a Hall of Famer if he won the Super Bowl that year.
Forget that though. The guy, the GM, the owners, they didn't invest enough in the most important part of their team, which is their offensive line, to protect their quarterback, their biggest investment. It's just.
I think has he not gotten hit more than any other quarterback in the last 7 years?
The dude got abused.
I think that's true.
His first 4 years in the league. The guy got massacred.
I think it was, but the last year he didn't. I think he only got sacked like twice last year. That offensive line was filthy.
Yeah, and he didn't play the year before. The first 5 years of
he
his
got
career,
hit so many times.
It wasn't even close that he was hit more than any other quarterback in football. So they just didn't put enough around him.
It's on the Colts
to be in a
front
winning
It's a front up.
franchise.
They had. Well, how many was it? Is it like I think it's 21 straight or 20 years total of Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck,
Something
and
like
to come
that.
away with only one Super Bowl.
Bad. Hard.
It's. I mean, now. Jim Irsay has historically been a bad owner. He's up there with James Dolan and whoever owns the Browns up until this last couple of years, but. He's been a bad owner, but Chris Ballard, the GM, has done a fantastic job of putting together a team that's going to be successful. The last couple of drafts have been exceptional. They got Quentin Nelson last year and Darius Leonard, who's two phenomenal players. And I think the Texans are going to win that division. I think the Texans were going to win that division anyways. But I still think the Colts have an opportunity to be a wild card team. I don't know necessarily they will be, but it wouldn't shock me for the end of the year they're a wild card team.
Yeah, I think that defense is really good, and I think they've built a good enough team around what would have been Andrew Luck that you plug in Brissett. I think they could be pretty solid. I mean, I don't think they're winning the division, but maybe they could sneak in for a wild card.
A lot of NFL analysts have said before that they want to see Jacoby Brissett start for an NFL team. They said he's very good and very capable, and if you remember. The last time Jacoby Brissett played for the Colts, they had no offensive line.
Nobody.
They were awesome last year for Andrew Luck, but Jacoby Brissett had nothing around him in Indianapolis. And then you take a 2 or 3 game sample size from New England where he actually played well. I mean, there's nothing that's saying that he's going to be bad. It's just pretty much any quarterback that after Andrew Luck's a downgrade.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think by – I know the popular – take is to say that Andrew Luck is perfect with what he did. I mean, everybody's okay with what he did. He's injured, he's hurt. But do you guys have a problem with how soon he did it close to the season? Like how close he did to the season?
I feel bad for him, and I think he absolutely has the right to retire. I don't think anyone else could say that for him or decide for him. It's his body, it's his brain, and he's one of those dudes in the NFL that's actually a lot smarter than the average human being. And I think that
weird dude.
He's a weird dude, but smart dudes are usually weird dudes. So I feel bad for him. I do think, in all honesty, that he could have told them a little bit sooner. They got to go shuffling around now, making the offense completely around Jacoby Brissett and his strengths. And I think that week 3 of the preseason's a little late for that, but that's just me.
Well, there were ideas throughout the Colts organization in the last couple of weeks. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Where they got wind that this might be a thing, so while it's still a shock because even if it's one of those things that like the Barry Mike Cockiner Twitter who pretends to be like Adam Schefter and stuff like that, he tweets all that stuff. When I saw that it was Adam Schefter's tweet about Andrew Luck, I've checked multiple times to make sure it was not that Twitter account because I was not getting tricked by that.
Did you guys see the Captain Andrew Luck?
Yeah,
let me read that real quick. So there's a Twitter account on Twitter that. Has Andrew Luck.
Needed that one.
Yeah. It's Captain Andrew Luck, and they have a picture of him. He looks like a general from the Civil War or something like that. But the
and
tweets,
Pip, is this on Instagram, this Twitter account? Okay, thanks.
It says, "Dearest mother, the quill has never felt more heavy. I have made the decision to holster my sidearm permanently. I shall battle no more. The decision is difficult, but as the hogs taught me, I must be true to myself. I am coming home to care for you and the farm, Andrew."
Twitter's by far the GOAT of social medias. It's not even close.
I'd say Instagram, but
why?
Why?
Wait, whoa. Why on earth is Instagram better than Twitter?
No, Twitter's so much better than Instagram.
It's 10 times better.
Pictures.
Who the fuck?
You can tweet pictures.
You can post pictures on Twitter. What the fuck are you talking about?
Twitter's...
Yo, you go through Twitter and like 9 out of 10 things you see on Twitter will include a picture or a video.
How about the fact that Facebook has just been overrun by old people?
No, it's a parents thing.
It's a parents and politics thing, and I want to throw up every time I see it.
Facebook was always heading that direction in the end because it's such a thing that because once you're like our parents never gonna get Twitter. It's too high tech for them. Like our parents,
and they're gonna understand maybe 1% of the jokes on there.
Yeah, so I mean, Facebook was always in the direction of that. It's easier to share stuff. It's so much easier. It's such a parents thing.
Nah, Instagram's better.
It's
It's
not.
so not. All right, we'll actually leave this up to the people. We're gonna have a poll on Instagram. That's beside the point. But we're gonna have a poll on which social media is better, Instagram or Twitter.
So we've gotten a little off track, but continuing down the Andrew Luck thing, we had a lot of takes about this. We had some players sticking their necks out for Andrew Luck, saying like, "I understand where you're coming from. Like shit happens. It's tough." Then you had some people on the other end, like Doug Gottlieb, who he tweeted that quitting. What is it?
So this is the tweet that Doug Gottlieb sent out. Retiring because rehabbing is, in quotes, too hard is the most millennial thing ever. # Andrew Luck. I mean, like, first off, like, it's not like we didn't fucking know who you're talking about in the first place. Thank you for hashtagging Andrew Luck. Really appreciate that one. But what a dog shit take.
It's very
It's
easy.
fucking awful.
It's very easy to hop on the Doug Gottlieb is an asshole train, but I'm going to continue to do it because Doug Gottlieb is a terrible analyst. He's been, first of all, I mean, I know Pip for some reason believes Kevin Durant's the best player in the NBA. That came out of nowhere, whatever. Doug Gottlieb said Kevin Durant was better than LeBron like 4 years ago, which is simply not true. But that's neither here nor there. Doug Gottlieb. Do you know Doug Gottlieb's story? Do the both of you know Doug Gottlieb's story?
In all honesty,
Wasn't he
I
a
don't.
D3 basketball?
No.
Wasn't he like an Oklahoma State, like,
OK State
defensive
player?
back? Yeah, or
No, he
something
was an
like
OK State basketball player.
basketball player.
He was a
Okay.
very good basketball player. He was at Notre Dame his freshman year, and he got kicked out of Notre Dame for stealing credit cards from other students. 3 different students he stole credit cards from. Like, I'm sorry, but at that point you lose your right to talk shit. He's like, he's tweeted about it. He's like, yeah, like, all right, I made my mistake, shit like that. But the fact that this man has the audacity to speak on another man's issues of mental health, physical health, and just desire to overall play a game, when this fucking guy got kicked out of a university for stealing credit cards from another student. And the story of it is absurd. The story of it is the first time he did it, he was borrowing someone's computer, and he opened up a drawer, and there was a credit card in there, and he closed it. And I was like, all right, whatever. Then he came back, took it, and went and bought like shoes and clothes, like totaling $400.
So the guy's a douche.
First ballot Hall of Fame scumbag right there.
It's like, the take on Andrew Luck is obviously horrible, especially considering Andrew Luck is such a well-respected and like one of the nicest people in the NFL. You always see the videos of him like saying, good hit, big boy, like, and he's getting him. He's like, oh, you're a menace out here today. Like, you're killing it today. Like, he's one of the nicest people in the NFL. And this man, if you listen to it, him talk about it, this man almost, this shoulder injury almost ruined his marriage. And he started to put a bigger onus on himself to be good at football, where it came to a point where if he didn't perform on the field, he thought of himself as less of a human being. And if that's where you're going at with sports, and that's the way you are feeling about sports, then yeah, I don't blame you quitting. He's retiring, but he's made $100 million. He wants to live his life. He's saying this calf injury was going to be the same type of thing. So it's tough. And then I know you're about to speak, Pip, I'm sorry, I'm kind of going on a rant here, but then I love it. You see Gronk? He was crying. Gronk was crying. That was, personally to me, that was actually hard to watch. Like, that almost made, I almost cried watching that, because I know that exact feeling of having to rehab every single day, and it's tough. And
all 3 of us have actually gone through that.
Yeah, and
that's one funny thing about us.
To watch Gronk, that we all think of as such a happy-go-lucky guy, that he's never had an issue mentally,
and he's a tough dude.
He's a
tough dude.
Hearing him speak about and crying about how the day of the Super Bowl he couldn't sleep because he was in so much pain. He had to have a liter of blood removed from his thigh on a simple hit. It wasn't even that big of a hit. And the hit, when you see it happen, he gets up, he kind of shakes off, he goes back to the huddle. But this man, on one of probably the best days of his life, he's won 3 Super Bowls.
He has.
So on one of the best days of his life, he didn't even get to enjoy it that much because of how much pain he was in. And like, people that play in the NFL, I give my hats off to them always with the amount of abuse their body goes through.
I think that's the one sport. Like, obviously, there's more sports like UFC and stuff like that. But of the core four, well, actually, hockey too as well. But any contact sport like that, who the fuck are you to say that someone is like an asshole for retiring